Hey there, so this is a video on how to connect Schedule Once to Zapier so that your appointment date and time information can be passed into your Ontraport account. First things first, you will need a paid Zapier plan, so at least the starter plan to create these zaps. Next, let's go ahead and do some pre-work. So the first thing is we're going to create some custom fields, a couple of tags, and grab some what we call API key and app ID information to make it easier once you are ready to start with Zapier. So let's go ahead and create the custom fields first. Go into your Ontraport account, go to Contacts, and then Settings. Then Field Editor. Now you'll want to create two custom fields. You can decide where you want your fields to be. Add field. Make this one appointment date and make it a date field. Then click Save. Next, you want to create one for the time. And you'll keep it as text. So now I've got two custom fields here. As a side tip, if you want to be able to merge in something like, here's your reschedule link in case you need to cancel or reschedule your appointment, you could create another field just as a text field for reschedule. All right, once that's done, click Save. The other thing that I'd recommend is creating 3 tags so that you can segment those and so that you can run automation. You'll create 3 of them: booked, canceled, and rescheduled, so you can manage each of those situations appropriately. So create 3 tags by clicking New Tag and type in the name of the tag. For this one, I did booked, canceled, and rescheduled. Once that's done, now we're going to go ahead and grab the API key and app ID. So go to the profile icon, Administration, Integrations, API Instructions and Key Manager. Click New API Key. If you're asked a bunch of questions asking why you're going to use the API, go ahead and answer those, and then you'll be approved, and then you'll be able to actually create this key as I'm doing here. Select the owner, and then click Save after you've given it a name in the corner. I already have app ID and API key information here. So you'll want to copy this information and paste it onto a notepad. Make sure that you pay attention to which is app ID and which is API key. Finally, let's just go and grab some information from your Schedule Once account. You'll go to Zapier integration here on the left side, and that's under the Setup tab, I believe, and then hit Generate API Key, and just copy that information. Then go into your Zapier account, click Apps, and search for Schedule Once. Then what you'll do here is type in Ontraport. We've got some pre-built Zap templates, which are really handy. So let's go ahead and do this one, Add New Schedule Once Bookings to Ontraport. You'll also notice there's rescheduled and canceled, all the pre-built templates you need. Hit Connect on Schedule Once Bookings. Then hit Continue here. And let's connect your Schedule Once account. This is going to ask you to get your key, and then type in your login ID. Now that that's connected, you're good to go. Now it's going to ask you for pulling in some sample information. Go ahead and select one of the samples and hit Continue. Now we need to actually format the date and time so that it works well with Ontraport. Hit Continue on this action. Everything should be set here, but let's just verify. Click Show Advanced Options. In this step, we're actually formatting the date into something called epoch or Unix time. Make sure that this says X and a bunch of numbers, and make sure that your input has booking start time here, customer's time zone. You shouldn't have to do anything, but that's the one you want to choose. Leave everything else the same as UTC. This should be pre-selected for you, and hit Continue. Then do a test to send that formatter over just to make sure it comes out right. It should look really funny like this. That's okay. Click Continue. The next step that we're going to go through on the left here is what we're called time formatting. So here we're also going to do the same thing. Click Show Advanced Options, and we're actually just going to strip out and only take the time of 11 a.m. from this. Here you've got how it's going to come out insofar as value. So 11 o'clock a.m., or if you want 24-hour time, go ahead and change those to capital H's. In this case, I like 12-hour time with AM or PM at the end. Leave the rest the same and hit Continue. Then go ahead and send that test. I should see it come out as just 11 o'clock a.m. Boom. And now we're going to push that information over to the Ontraport account. We're going to have to connect the Ontraport account. Hit connect. And then this is where your app ID and API key from Ontraport comes in handy. Then select Ontraport here. It should already be selected for you. Now that's connected. Go ahead and hit test just to make sure that it connects just fine. You should see success, then save and continue. Now this is where we want to push over the data from Schedule Once to Ontraport. Hit Show Advanced Options. These should already be pre-selected for you. Next, we want to make sure that the appointment date and appointment time are pushed over. So do a search for your field. Appointment date is here. Then select the date as the one from Step 2, the one that looks funny. For the time, select it from Step 3. I also like to insert the time zone by going here and typing in time zone. You'll see that that's down here under Customer Time Zone. Finally, I like to make sure that a tag is added. And in this case, it's going to be my scheduled tag. Hit Continue. Send the test to Ontraport. Let's go into the Ontraport account and find out what happened. What I'm expecting to see, if you click on Date Added, is that contact came into my account. I'm also expecting to see that the appointment date and time got filled in. The appointment date and the time are right here. So I've got first name, last name, and email, appointment date and time. And finally, I'm looking for that tag to be able to segment. And here it is under Appointment Rescheduled. Finally, I can now go through and I can create a campaign that then triggers any automation that I would like. For example, I could have a trigger that when that tag is added, then go ahead and send a confirmation or anything else that I would like. And that's it.